This is oxygen dissociation curve. This oxygen dissociation curve showing the percentage saturation of hemoglobin with oxygen by increasing the partial pressure of oxygen. As partial pressure of oxygen increases, gradually percentage saturation of hemoglobin molecules with oxygen also increases. So suppose we see here graph again, 30 partial pressure of oxygen is 30 mm of Hg. In this situation, how much? 30% means 30% of the hemoglobin gets saturated. 30, not here pictured graph, but additionally 25% of the hemoglobin. Suppose there are 100 molecules of the hemoglobin. 100 molecules of hemoglobin. In this situation, at the partial pressure of oxygen, only the 25% of molecules will be saturated. Means 25% of molecules will carry the 4 molecules of the oxygen. As each molecules of oxygen, each molecule of hemoglobin can transport, can carry, can combine the 4 molecules of the oxygen. So in this way, suppose 20 here at the 100 molecules of the hemoglobins are there. In out of 100, 25 molecules will be saturated. And if we gradually increase the partial pressure, so in this way, by increasing the partial pressure, we find that here nearly the 75% of the hemoglobin molecules will be saturated. And in this way, if we gradually increase the partial pressure, we see that nearly by 100% of molecules will be saturated. So as we increase the partial pressure of oxygen, the saturated percentage saturation of hemoglobin molecule will also increases. So there are few factors which affect on the oxygen dissociation curve. You know that the normal person having a sigmoid oxygen dissociation graph is sigmoid. Gradually it increases, and after increasing it gets saturated. So what factors affecting on the oxygen dissociation curve? So these are partial pressure of carbon dioxide. What factors affecting? Factors affecting oxygen dissociation curve. And one factor very important, that is the carbon dioxide. That factor is the carbon dioxide, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. So gradually, if oxygen dissociation curve turns oxygen dissociation curve turns right side, the oxygen dissociation curve turn the right side, and right side, and oxygen binding capacity decreases with increase in partial pressure of carbon dioxide. And bank capacity decreases with increase in the partial pressure of the carbon dioxide. So, oxygen dissociation curve turns right side, and oxygen binding capacity of hemoglobin decreases or lowers with increase in partial pressure of oxygen, and this is called as the Bohr's effect. Bohr's effect. This is also called as the Bohr's effect. And it also stimulates, it means partial pressure of carbon dioxide, it also stimulates the dissociation. It also stimulates the dissociation of oxyhemoglobin. Dissociation of oxyhemoglobin to release oxygen. So these are the effect of the partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Oxygen dissociation curve turns right side, and the oxygen binding capacity decreases with increase in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide. This is the Bohr's effect. And carbon dioxide concentration also stimulates the dissociation of oxyhemoglobin to release the oxygen. And after partial pressure of carbon dioxide, next one is the temperature and the pH. Next factor is temperature. Next factor is temperature. So curve turns, here curve turns to right side with increase in temperature. Curve means oxygen dissociation curve. Curve turns to right side with increase in temperature. And next one is the pH. Next factor is pH. Third is pH. Same situation takes place. Curve turns to right side with increase in acidity. The curve turns to right side with increase the acidity. with increase the acidity, means decrease pH. So these are the factors which affect on the oxygen dissociation curve. So first on the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, temperature and the pH. These are the factors which affect on the oxygen dissociation curve. Thank you. That's my